I'm going to show you one method of dampening paper for Japanese printmaking. I'm using a thin Japanese mulberry paper, and I'm going to dampen it by just dipping very lightly one of the sheets onto the surface of a tub of water. And now this is way too wet for printing, and there's also a dry spot you see here. But what I'm going to do is stack several dry sheets on top of this. I'm going to guess that maybe 4 or 5, I'll do 4 dry sheets on top. That's 3, that's 4. And then the next sheet, I'm going to lightly dip into the water. See how wet that is and floppy. And lay that on top. And then put another 4 sheets. And then lay another damp sheet on top of that. And then I'm going to wrap it in plastic and lay a weight on top of it. And let it rest for at least a half hour, at the longest overnight, with a weight on top of it to allow the moisture to even out, so all of those sheets will have a small amount of moisture. These are some of the tools that you'll need for printing Japanese woodblock. You'll need your woodblock, sticky mat, palette, and or some dishes for mixing paint. These are just juice lids, paste, watercolor or gouache, chopstick or plastic spoon or something for transferring paste. These are printing brushes, I'll talk more about in a second. Ordinary watercolor brush for transferring the watercolor or gouache, some water, some rags. If I forget anything, I'll let you know. Now the printing brushes come in a couple kinds. This is the larger brush, easier for printing larger areas. It's held and used like this. Here's a smaller brush, used the same way except has a long handle. If you don't have access to the specialized Japanese printing brushes, you can improvise. This is a stencil brush. And see how it's similar to the small brush. It has natural bristles, closely spaced together, a fairly flat end. And so you would use it the same way, like this.